It's not going to reduce this to a humorous situation.
Oh, come on. Everything in this room is supposed to be...
And I love that Jackie's modus operandi. They fire me! Fire me! Fire me!
No,
You can't, no one can approach anything. It's tiring.
It's tiring.
Well, Jackie, think about your position in life. You're no longer Jackie the drunk man sitting out in Oyster Bay waiting for your next $50 gig. You're working on a show that has a little bit more importance, and don't take advantage of people.
I don't take it.
You know,
I know
he's
you
our
don't.
Hank.
Yeah, he's Hank.
Yeah.
He's got to be constantly monitored.
Yeah.
And, you know, all this stuff gets back to me, and it's like, God, what arrogance.
Hey, now.
Please do
So
not
you had a
call
complaint
businesses.
about me?
Yes.
From?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to embarrass that person.
Of course you're not.
So how do
Why
I know
not?
about it?
What do you mean by that? Of course you're not.
I'm not.
He found out, didn't he?
That's enough. What, I got to tell you who told me? I need people out there who can tell me stuff about you so I know what you're up to. And I apologize to the general manager of the radio station. In no way did I have any knowledge
Please
that
do
Jackie
not
would do
accept
that.
Jackie's calls.
No, I mean, seriously, and this goes to everyone we work with. Please, listen. I would never call somebody who is good enough to put us on the air and do business with us. I'm not going to call you and ask you to book me rooms in Florida and get me 20% discounts and all that other stuff.
Don't become also the travel agent, the water boy.
Please. And I'm very embarrassed that people are abusing the relationship like this. Yeah, it's funny.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're wrong. Of course you're wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Jackie, you did something very wrong.
I don't think so. I'm blind.
I know you don't think so, and I'm trying to teach you.
What would make it wrong?
When is it wrong with you? Why don't you call your friends? You've got so many. Why don't you call the guys you made friends with? Not the ones that I've made friends with. It's always my friends you're calling. The people I cultivate in business for this show.
Yeah, how many deals with Miami did you make?
None. Zero. Why don't you call Penthouse? You're the Jackie Penthouse Joe Page Martling. Why don't you call them? They must have contacts in Florida.
I didn't think of it.
All right, you thought of
Howard's contact.
Yes.
The one that Howard is associated. Because you know what? Howard's a good guy. He won't care. No, he won't even say I'm a good guy. I wish he would.
He'll just do it.
Howard can't do anything about it. I work hard on that
He'll
show.
probably never even know about it. It's probably what he won't find out.
I hope your throat closes up.
Was that a Jackie imitation?
Yeah.
It was sort of. I think my regular voice is a Jackie.
Jackie wheeling and dealing. Wheeling and dealing off the show's tuchus. Jackie wheeling and dealing. Fred, do you ever call radio stations and ask? I noticed you went away for. How did you manage to get
I
tickets?
went through a travel agent.
You went through a travel
agent.
agent.
How did you get a hotel?
How did you get the hotel? Did you call a radio station and ask for a
Travel
freebie?
agent.
Why don't you hand this to him yourself?
What was the name of the hotel?
Oh, he's angry at me.
Yeah.
Am I saying something
Fred,
wrong?
Fred, you're a pretty honest guy. Am I wrong?
I don't know. If he got the hotel room...
It's not about that, Fred. It's about
like
calling this guy and asking him to do it.
How come you don't cultivate these relationships?
Personally, honestly, I don't see anything wrong. Like if you were to call, like if you were coming from out of town and you wanted a recommendation for a hotel,
A recommendation is
That's not a recommendation. This guy booked him a room at a hotel.
I don't know if
he
he.
told
I don't
me
even.
where to call.
And you call Penthouse. That's your place.
This guy didn't book me.
Call
He said
Burf.
there was an availability at this hotel, and I called the hotel.
He had contacted the hotel
him and said,
first,
take care of
said,
Jackie.
my friend Jackie is coming to town.
Right. Give him the treatment. What about Burf? Can you call him, your good buddy, or the pals that you have, or all the business associates you have, the guy you make your videotapes with and your CD-ROM and everything else?
All those people you're talking to from your green bag.
Right. Why is it always got to be some guy that I've cultivated for this program? A business relationship. Why?
I stand corrected.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
I will try and keep myself in line.
Hey, do whatever you want in your private life. Just don't involve me. It's always some connection through Howard. I'm such a bad guy. Don't use my business connections.
Remember, he's cheap.
That's right. Remember, I'm the cheap guy.
Yeah,
You don't want to be cheap, too. You're a real big spender over there. Still has the first dollar he made sitting in the pocket.
I thought I was the cheap guy.
Oh, come on, Tom. Get out of here. I've had it with you. You're another genius. God knows what you're up to in your private life. Probably as bad as Jackie.
Not glomming
At
off
least
the
you
show.
know what's appropriate and what isn't. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Thank you. 100% out of line. I don't see it. I work hard. And I'll do whatever I have to do on this show to get
Fire me.
Fire me! Fire me!
Fire me, damn it!
You don't have to be fired. Anybody on this show, this goes for myself included, who wants to get out, get out. You don't like it. Told that to Fred, Robin, you, interns, Gary Balabati.
Tom.
Yeah, we all know where the door is except you.
Fire me!
Fire me!
He's threatening me. Fire me!
No, I'm just saying
You can leave whenever you
Yeah,
want.
because he says, if you don't like my hotel freebies, which are going to continue firing.
Right.
Hotel freebies.
Yeah, freebies. Jackie, you make a
Really
good
teaching
living
you
now.
to lie as well as him. You know that.
Yeah.
You're a very good.
Jackie, do
student,
me a favor.
Very good student.
The show conducts business. We have cultivated what you like to call friends, but they're business associates. People who rely on us putting on a show and getting them ratings, and they sell us in the advertising community. These are people you are going to meet. You're right, because when I am there and you're in the room, you will meet them.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be a pal to them, and you'll say hi, how you doing, and you're a great guy. You're everybody's fun pal.
Yeah.
But when you pick up a phone and you say to a guy, hey, out of all the people in Florida, hey, hotel room, Jackie's in town. You're now taking liberties with people we cultivate from the show.
I don't agree.
It's a business. I know you don't agree, but I'm telling you the way it is. This is the way it is. And I know you don't see it because maybe, in your own angry way, you are entitled. You're entitled to the world's gifts. And you're Jackie the Joke Man, and you should have all the beauty that's out there and everything. When you walk into museums, they should donate artwork to you. And everything should be free to you. I agree. I wish everything in the world was free. And everyone was a hippie and smoked pot and drove a Volkswagen. But I'm going to tell you something.
What's that?
Call your friends. You've made tons of... Call Penthouse Magazine. Bob Guccione, you told me you met him. Call him for a hotel room. Don't feel so free to call the people that I've spent time cultivating. Because I wouldn't even call them and ask him for a pencil. They are valued customers of this show. They are people who buy our product. And they are also anxious to please me. You're right. They're anxious to please me, and they think when you're calling as a representative of the program, and they have to hop to. And you know that full well. That's why you called him. You knew he'd hop to for you. Penthouse isn't going to hop to for you. None of your friends, your so-called friends, are going to hop to for
Are
you.
you still talking to me?
Yes.
Oh.
None of your friends are going to hop to. The only ones who are going to hop to are people who are afraid of me. And you know that. You're a bright guy.
I did say that, though. I said if you don't get me a room, I'm going to tell him.
No, you don't have to say it. What is it?
On our phone, to clarify everything, is Jackie's wife.
I don't want to hear from Jackie's wife because I'm
Sure?
not joking around. It's
Okay.
not a joke.
This isn't funny.
His wife wouldn't know what's clear if it hit her in the face. Nancy, honey, this is one you got to stay out of, sweetheart.
It's
I didn't call to clarify anything. I think you're totally out of line.
I know. You know everything, Nancy. Well, you run Jackie's business. I'll run the show business. I know. I'm totally out of line.
How come it's okay for the Florida station to call and ask Jackie for a favor? How come they're not his business?
That I have nothing to do with. When a member of my working team, whether it's a lowly intern or
Nancy, this
whether it's a
grinding
lowly,
to a
listen to
halt.
me, whether it's a lowly intern,
Or a lowly
if it's a
writer.
producer, a writer, Robin Quivers.
This guy Dave happens to be.
Let me tell you something. If Robin started calling, if Robin started,
for any kind of freebie, Howard.
I know he didn't, darling. That's why you called the general manager of a radio station that I cultivated for 3 years to get us on in the Miami market, and that's why Jackie couldn't call any of his so-called buddies or associates that you cultivate because you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't know anyone in Miami except the people I do business with.
Jackie does business with him too.
I know he does. Darling, but let me tell you something. The reason he hopped to for you and pulled a few strings and got you into was Florida all closed out to you and then all of a sudden opened up? Is because of Jackie's association with the show. Not because he's Jackie the Joke Man. Listen carefully, darling. Listen carefully, darling.
Business associates like inanimate objects. And
Listen,
business is
I
the
know. Oh, you're going to tell me how to run my business? I've seen what you've done in business. Nothing.
Relationships between people. Jackie
Oh, I
happened
see.
to meet this guy.
Yeah,
Had a
happened-
relationship. We were able to get very,
Darling,
very last minute.
Jackie
Went to
happened to meet the guy.
Knew nobody in
He
Miami.
happened to meet him at your birthday.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you something, Nancy.
Nancy.
Nancy, Nancy, let me tell you something. I'm going to explain it to you very clearly because since you're Jackie's manager, you can clearly explain it to him. I'm going to try and get through to you. And then I'm going to hang up on you.
Conversation Company Limited.
Since you're his art director, I'll explain it to you. Are you his art director?
I'm speaking to
I see. You're speaking at his wife. I thought you were, since you know so much about business, I thought you were his art director.
I run a business, Howard.
All right. That's some business. What was the gross on that business last year?
Pretty gross.
Yeah. So, let me tell you something.
I'm telling you, you're out of line.
I know I'm out of line. It's not for you to decide whether I'm out of line or not.
So spend an hour doing it.
Well, let me tell you something. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to try and explain it to you because you grew up like a rube, and now I'm going to teach you how to do business. There are certain people in this world who do business with you, and Jackie knows full well that the general manager of the radio station is interested in Jackie because of this radio show.
Of course.
And if this, let me finish.
No.
I'm trying to explain it to you.
Go ahead.
And I'll do it again until it sinks in. The reason this guy doesn't pick up phone calls from just anybody.
Yeah.
Guy's
That's
a pretty
the general manager of the station.
Yeah,
That's not
he's
even the receptionist.
He's
or
a pretty important guy. Getting through. I got to tell you something. When I first got into radio, I used to try and call general managers of radio stations. Believe me, when I used to call and say, my name is Howard Stern, I'd like to be a disc jockey in your station, they didn't pick up the phone and say, is there a way I can help you out, sir? These guys are not easy to get through to. This is a high-powered.
Absolutely spoke to me because I'm affiliated with you.
That's
absolutely,
right.
Of course.
And when Jackie calls up a radio station that I am on, that this show is on,
Yeah.
they are crapping in their pants.
I don't think
No, they're.
Oh, I know that. I know what you think, and I know what Jackie thinks, but I am telling you the way it is.
Howard,
They are anxious to please me. Nancy, they are anxious to please me, and it is precisely that reason I don't call the general manager of the radio station and say, can you book me a hotel room? Can you help me get a car when I'm in Florida? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I don't ask for these things because it's improper, and I'll tell you why it's improper. They do business with this show. They're nice enough to do business with this show, and they're very anxious to have us pleased. And in that anxiousness to please us, what they do is go out of their way if you ask them for something, and it's not for them to have to do. It's just something you don't have to do. If you called that guy now and asked him for any favor, he would comply because he'd want to please me.
You know what? And they asked Jackie for a favor.
I understand. They can ask Jackie for 57 favors.
But that E2 has to do with this show. Jackie's a valuable
the only
person.
reason they want Jackie is for the favors.
Lay off.
No, hey, she doesn't have to lay off anything. She doesn't lay off.
I'm not even listening to her.
He works on the show.
Yeah, we know he works on the show. So does Fred. So do I. So does Robin. So does Gary. And I am telling you, it is improper to call the general manager of the Florida radio station and ask him for favors. What?
You gotta let somebody else speak at some point.
There's nothing to talk about.
If the general manager from that station called and asked Jackie a favor.
Good.
Is that improper?
Not at all.
Business. Is Jackie getting paid?
No.
Then Jackie felt like doing a favor.
So that this guy.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely appropriate. If you want to take calls from him, that's fine. That's fine. You can take all the calls you want. You can have a social relationship. You can go over his house and have dinner. That's fine if you become friends with this guy. You cannot call him up and say, I need a room, and then get a 20% discount and have doors open for you. He is doing it because of me.
As a matter of fact, Jackie said, listen, I am not looking for any kind of freebie or any kind of discount.
He said, but he accepted one, didn't he?
What?
He accepted a freebie, didn't he?
Money.
He accepted 20%.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
So what if this guy...
Thank you. I gotta go now. I gotta go do business.
You're just so full of it, Howard, just
Right.
for the record.
I know I'm full of it. And you know what? I only wish you were my manager. Your business is so clear in your head. You're such a clear businesswoman.
I am a clear businesswoman, Howard.
That's good. You were running Jackie's career great until you met me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. That's all.
Thank you.
That's all.